Hey, welcome to this video, and in here I'm going to talk about Ogive, or Ogive, you can call it whatever you want. And if you can recall from the previous videos, I cannot remember if it's the first or second, I collected all of the ACT scores data from the previous couple years ACT exams. There's 28 total students, and in here I listed them all in this column, and their corresponding frequencies are next to them. So let's walk through this Ogive step by step by using this ACT scores as an example. So first thing, remember what an Ogive actually is. An Ogive is just a cumulative frequency graph, or in this case, a relative cumulative frequency graph. That's wordy. So since we're using percentages, so it's not showing how many people are in each group, it's showing how many people are at or below a certain score. And I'll explain it later. So I always start with the table. Look at the first score range, 17 to 18. The frequency there is 3. So the cumulative frequency is also 3 because we're just starting. And since the total number of students is 28, that's about 10.7%. If you can use your calculator to prove it, that's where the Ogive begins. And now when we are moving to the next interval, 19 to 20, we don't reset anything, we add. So 3 plus 4 gives us a cumulative frequency of 7. That means 7 out of 28 students scored 20 or below, which is about 25%. And that's the key idea. Every point on the Ogive answers the question, what percent of students scored at or below this value? And as we keep going down the table, the cumulative frequency keeps increasing, and the relative cumulative frequency keeps climbing closer and closer to 100%. And by the time we hit the last interval, 31 to 32, we're at 100% because we've counted everyone. Now let's talk about the graph. On the x-axis, we always use the upper end of each score interval, so 18, 20, 22, 24, and so on. On the y-axis, we put the relative cumulative frequency, which is the percent. So for example, when I plot the point at 25 on the x-axis, the y value is about 68%. And that means roughly 68% of students scored 25 or lower on this test. And notice the shape. An Ogive always starts near 0 on the left and always ends at 100% on the right. It never goes down. It only goes up or stays flat because cumulative frequency can't decrease. One really useful thing about Ogive is that you can estimate percentiles. If I want the medium score, I just go to 50% on the y-axis, so relatively right here. So moving across to the curve, then drop down to the x-axis, wherever lands is the medium ACT score. So big picture here is the table builds the cumulative totals, and the graph shows those totals visually. And every point tells you the percent of students scoring at or below a certain value. You can hear I was keep repeating at or below this term, so you can see that this is pretty important. You have to know the concept. This is basically everything about Ogive. So once you keep that phrase in your head, Ogives stop being scary and start making a lot of sense. So that's what I want to talk about in this video, and I hope it helps you make some sense about Ogive, and see you soon.